Now we can get in some really, well, I want to call it the nitty gritty of earning a link from a golden prospect. You had to learn a lot so far to get to this stage, and you should pat yourself on the back if you've been doing the homework and doing the research on your golden prospects as you've been going along, because it takes a lot of work to get where you're at. And if you've gotten this far, that is awesome. But what do we do now that you've done the research, you know who your golden prospect is, how much traffic their site is getting, what that would be worth to your business, what that would entail as far as what you're going to have to do to earn the link? Well, that's what we're going to get into now. We haven't touched on any of that. But your golden prospect has to have a reason to link to you. It's not going to be because of the merits of your website or the merits of your product. There's a lot of good websites out there. There's a lot of good products out there and a lot of great services providers. So, what's in it for your golden prospect to link to you? Remember, I talked about in the previous module about entering the conversation. I might not have done that in this module. I think it was during the live call. I talked about entering the conversation in that's taking place in your prospect's mind rather than trying to force your own conversation upon their mind. Then I talked about in the Robert Collier video, and that video is great, where, not video, rather the Robert Collier book, and I'm listening to the audio book, and about his sales letters, about all this great money he made back in the 30s and 40s selling books via direct mail. And it was through sales letters. And he had learned, I learned that through him and through Dan Kennedy, that in order to get somebody to take you seriously or to even pay attention to you, and your golden prospect certainly falls into this category, if you want them to take you seriously, what do you have to do? You have to transform yourself from an unwelcome pest to a welcome guest. And the best way to do that is to enter the conversation already taking place in your prospect's mind. And what's taking place in your prospect's minds? There's several categories. One is their business needs, and that's what we're going to talk about in this video. What are your golden prospects' business needs? Once you know that, you'll be in a good position to be able to help them with those needs. And if you can do that, will you get their attention? Yes, you will. So I'm on a golden prospect site right now. It's the Art of Manliness. I love this site. And I found it because this is one of my golden prospects. And I found the owner of this company is Brett and Kate McKay. I've never met them, but I've read several of their books now in the last couple of weeks, and they're great books. I gave a lot of the books away during the Q&A. I gave 3 copies, signed copies of Brett and Kate away during the the Q&A sessions for this module. So I'm doing my best to let them know, hey, I like your product. I'm buying a lot of their product. Then I wrote Brett a thank you letter, thanking him for a couple things that he did for me. He let me buy on a discount, and I also let him know that I gave him away as gifts to you guys, and then I was also brought up where they got the site where I got the product from, and I brought up the Art of Manliness a couple of times on the recordings. Well, that's big news for them. Is it how big a news? I don't know. This is a Christmas season. They're doing really well with because their product's selling out with the amount of traffic they're getting. I imagine that the little bit of business I'm sending them and the thank you note, the social capital hasn't really improved that. I don't think I've gained enough brownie points yet to go in for my ask. What's my ask? Well, I want a link. All right, so I'm on their site right now and I want to do research and I want to figure out what their business needs are. I can look at all their content and they have a lot of different content, but that doesn't mean anything. There's one way to find out what somebody's business needs are, and that's to go to the shop. That's the whole reason they built the site, was to make money. So their business needs is to make money. Otherwise, how can they keep the content coming into the site? Well, what you can't say, well, I'll help them make money. Well, that's too nebulous. There's other things we have to do. So you look, and they have all kinds of products. And I gave one of these away today, to the Art of Manliness etched mug. Really nice mug. just I like their products a lot. But look through there and look at their products. It looks like they have apparel, they have accessories, they have grooming, they have posters, stationery, books, and things on clearance. Now, I like going to the books. And yeah, see, they already sold out of that. I like going to the books because if I can help them, obviously they want to sell more books. But if I can help them sell more ebooks, like a lot of these are ebooks. Right here, here's an ebook, 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 ebook. Not so much their signed books or their paperback or their trade paperback books. There's like cost included with that, and sure they'd like to sell as many of those as possible. But if they can sell ebooks, that's pure profit. So one of the needs that I think that I can I don't want to say exploit, but one of the needs that I have found of Brett and McKay is that they have business needs and they have a need to sell their ebooks. It may not selling their ebooks may not be the biggest priority to them, but I know that if I could help them sell 50 extra ebooks a month or 100 ebooks a month, that would be pure profit for them. And so that's one of the needs that I'm writing down for this golden prospect, is that right there is the fact that they have a need to sell their ebooks. And so then I'll take this link up here and I'll put that in the spreadsheet. I'm not going to show you that because the screen gets all jacked up. But have a column for your products, for your prospects' books, and or their products or whatever. But look to see if they have an ebook for sale. Start with that. If they don't have ebooks, then you're going to have to help them sell their book, or their needs are going to be. And right now, you may not have to help them sell their book. I don't want you to get caught up on that. Right now, you're just trying to find what the needs are of your golden prospect, and their need is to sell books. And I'm going to choose ebooks to help them sell ebooks. And I don't want you to think, well, there's no way I can help them sell ebooks. I couldn't even sell my own ebook. I wrote one and I only have 4 sales, and that's from my sister and my brother and 2 people that wanted refunds right away. No, I don't want you to, because if you think that, then you're going to have a hard time jumping into this and thinking, yeah, I can help these people. No, right now you can help them, and it doesn't take an expert to help them solve their needs. But first, you just have to find their needs. All right, so that's one of their business needs. Another way you can find business needs is, I'm back on Eric's page again, is from your golden prospect themselves. What are they tweeting? What are they promoting? They'll tell you from their tweets, if they promote on their tweets, and most do, every once in a while they do at least, they'll tell you what's most important to them. Let me center this up. And so I would look down at to look for tweets from your golden prospect to see what when they're promoting something. There he shared oh yeah, it was a link over to his newsletter. So Eric was promoting Link Moses Private. And I knew he was doing that. And I'll show you what I did. Then he was on an interview, a podcast. He promoted that. Ooh, then he promoted some of my content. Thank you, Eric. All right. I know I could keep going, and most of the time, everything he promoted was Link Moses Private. So I did something kind of cool. I'm going to see if I can find it because it's not on my site anymore. After Eric passed away, I took it off my site because I didn't want people to think that they could buy that Eric was still but they could still get advice from Eric from the newsletter. So I took it off my site. But if I go to Wayback Machine, and if I put in my you're so lazy I am. I hate typing. Copy and paste. I'm going to browse the history. My site is brand new. But I want to find, like, say middle of, yeah, maybe right here. July 15th of last month of this year. And hopefully it has the images. Because I knew Eric wanted to promote his newsletter. So that was a big need. Eric had a need for newsletter subscribers. Well, I wrote that down. Eric needs newsletter subscribers. So I went about helping him get those newsletters. And the internet, why is it going so slow? Wow, wow, wow. I'm not going to edit this out either, so hopefully it'll come up quick. All right. Let's go all the way down to May 19th. All right, there's a site. Hopefully the banners will show up. Right there. I had on my homepage a banner that was on the sidebars on every page on my website. I put this banner: Link Moses Private, $8 monthly newsletter by Eric Ward. And I popped that over in my sidebar, and I left it there, and it linked over to the subscription page. And Eric, it took him probably 2 months to find it on my site, and when he found it, he was really happy. And so I didn't brag about it as soon as I set it up. I let him find it on his own, and that doesn't mean you have to do that. And if it's a client's campaign, you can't. You're gonna have to expedite things a bit so you can get a link for your client. But in this case with Eric, all I did, I knew his need was for newsletter subscribers. Now, it took me 5 minutes to create this banner and with a link over to his site and to put it on my sidebar on my site. And when Eric found that, yeah, he was very thankful. And you can help your golden prospect with their need too. So whatever that need is, I highly recommend that you just right now figure out what their needs are. See if they have newsletter subscriptions. Find out what they're doing on Twitter. Find out what they're promoting on Twitter. Find out which of their own products they're promoting on Twitter. Go to their Facebook page. Look for that too. They will tell you their business needs and what they're trying to promote right now. And once you do that, that's going to help you big time in getting inroads into your golden prospect and earning social capital with them. And that'd be big for you. So that's what I recommend you do now. Go to your golden prospect sites, find out what it is they're promoting, find out what their business needs are, find out what it is they're promoting the most as far as promos for products they sell or services they sell. Write that down in your spreadsheet, and then go meet me at the next video because you got more research to do. You're almost done, but we're getting real close to being able to reach out and doing some real good with your golden prospects. So keep your chin up and keep driving forward because this is a tough module, but you're almost through it.